As Matt just mentioned, we're going to go live to Ludington where that press conference is happening. We've been telling you about this. We broke the story at the top of the hour. Murder charges against Sean Phillips, the father of baby Kate. Let's go live to Ludington right now and listen in.
Not to be able to fly from my hometown of Midland and took the drive down US 10, so I apologize for not being here as prompt as I might wish. So good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today and being here today. My name is Bill Schuette. I'm Michigan's Attorney General. And as Attorney General, one of my chief responsibilities is to serve as a voice for the victims of crime. And victims of crime should never be forgotten. And today, we are not forgetting baby Kate. Today, we're here to announce murder charges against Sean Phillips and the death of his daughter, baby Kate. With these charges, justice delayed is not justice denied. And more than 2 years ago, on June 29th, 2011, baby Kate was murdered. And this was first believed to be a missing persons case. And law enforcement conducted an extensive search for baby Kate. And many volunteers valiantly participated in this effort and this search for this innocent child. And I thank the volunteers, I thank the members of law enforcement, some of whom are here today, volunteers from across the community, and I appreciate their work, their intensity, and their passion on this case. Now, unfortunately, baby Kate would not be found because she was murdered by Sean Phillips. In April of 2012, Mason County Prosecutor Paul Spagnola, and Paul, you've done a terrific job on this case, charged Sean Phillips with unlawful imprisonment, which is a form of kidnapping. A jury agreed and convicted Sean Phillips for the crime, and he was been sentenced to 10 to 15 years in prison and is currently serving that sentence. Now, as many of you know, the investigation into baby Kate's disappearance did not end with a conviction. And since then, the Ludington Police, and I appreciate Chief Barnett, the Michigan State Police, I thank the commander of the Hard Post, Lieutenant Levitt, for being here today, and his work and his colleagues, and many others. Kim Cole from the Mason County Sheriff's Department and his team, everybody working together, have continued this investigation. And as a result, new evidence has been discovered. New evidence has been discovered which supports a murder charge in this case. And today we are charging Sean Phillips with open murder for the death of his daughter, baby Kate. We have evidence that we are convinced will prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Sean Phillips murdered his own daughter, baby Kate. The maximum penalty for this crime is life imprisonment. This case will be prosecuted jointly by my office with Donna Pendergrast and our Mason County Prosecutor Paul Spagnola. Now, unfortunately, we will never be able to bring baby Kate back. She was the innocent victim of a terrible crime at the hands of her own father, no less. This is a tragic case. It just makes you sick. There'll be no first birthday party for baby Kate, no first day of kindergarten, no first Christmas. And her sister Haley will grow up without the love and friendship of her sister. Phillips, however, will be held accountable for his actions and will finally see justice for baby Kate. I would now like to turn this over to Prosecutor Spagnola for a few brief remarks, and then Chief Barnett as well, and then we'll take questions from members of the press. Paul?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Attorney General. Good afternoon. I'm Paul Spagnola. I'm Mason County Prosecuting Attorney. It was about a year ago that I reached out to the Attorney General's office for assistance in this matter. This case has been so prominent in our community and in our county that we have lived this case ever since the afternoon of June 29th of 2011. Therefore, I felt it was important to take a fresh look at its completeness and with an eye toward prosecuting this case as a murder case without a body. Donna Pendergast is a highly accomplished trial prosecutor who has tried no-body homicide cases before. She has quickly mastered the facts of this case and much of the evidence in this case, and I'm very comfortable with her assignment to this case. My role will still be significant. We have a number of high-profile cases in this county lately, including the recent murder of Trooper Paul Butterfield and the non-fatal shooting of Ludington Police Department Sergeant Dave Maltby that will shortly be going to trial, as well as a number of other serious cases which have forced me to look outside my office for assistance. Attorney General Schuette, Assistants Rick Cunningham and Tom Cameron, who's here today, for approving my request for assistance and assigning such a top-flight prosecutor as Donna Pendergast to the file. I also wish to thank the Appellate Division under the supervision of Annika Letica, which handles appeals of right for approximately 56 of the smaller counties of the state, including ours, which is handling Mr. Phillips's appeal of his unlawful imprisonment conviction. As for that case, the appeal remains pending, and oral argument has been requested by both sides and has not yet been scheduled. That's the extent of my remarks, direct remarks. Thank you. Thank you for coming today.
Let me turn it over to Chief Barnett, Chief of the Ludington Police.
On July 29, 2011, the Ludington Police Department was called to 922 East Tinkham Avenue in the city of Ludington on a civil disturbance. Based on the information that the officers received, it was determined that a 4-month-old Catherine Shelby Elizabeth Phillips had been abducted. Police Department, Mason County Sheriff's Office, the Michigan State Police, the FBI, as well as a number of other law enforcement agencies and corrections agencies, fire departments, other emergency responders, family members, those from academia, concerned citizens from nearby and from across the country. They've all banded together with one goal. That goal is to bring closure to this investigation, and they have spent thousands of hours in that pursuit. I'd like to thank Attorney General Schuette, Prosecutor Spagnola, for this announcement today and for their assistance in this investigation. The men and women of the Ludington Police Department and the Mason County Sheriff's Office, and indeed the entire community, want nothing more than truth to be revealed and justice for baby Kate. It's my belief that this announcement today brings us one step closer to that goal. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Chief. Thank you, Prosecutor Spagnola. And be happy to take any questions from members of the press.
How long have you been involved in this case?
We started working together with the Mason County Prosecutor's Office last fall. It's about a year.
The new evidence, can you talk a little bit about what that is and whether or not it had anything to do with the botanical search?
Well, you know, there's been news reports, press reports about the botanical search and you know, letters and all of that. But all this evidence will come out at trial, and it'll be you know, full and complete. Let me just say it was an exhaustive investigation, thorough and complete, which is the hallmark of our judicial system. And I compliment the Sheriff's Office, the Chief of Police, Prosecutor Spagnola, the MSP, all who work together with that one goal, as the Chief so eloquently said, to try to find justice for baby Kate. And that's why, after looking at this new evidence, which we'll talk about at trial, we are convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that we'll have evidence that will prove that Sean Phillips murdered his daughter, baby Kate.
Search for the body over the number?
You know, the investigation, you know, we always will receive and be open for new evidence. I'm not going to get into the specifics of that, but we are convinced are warranted, and that indeed a jury will come back with a conviction of Sean Phillips in the death of his daughter.
So do you think that the plant seeds did help this?
This will all come out in terms of in the trial. We're not going to present evidence and do the trial here at the press conference.
When did you say the trial?
Well, we just filed charges today, and he'll be arraigned shortly. You bet.
All of the cases in the world are in the state of Michigan.
Are you from the press? Just, I'm not trying to be rude. I just couldn't question. Yes, ma'am.
Of all the cases in the state of Michigan, why get involved in this forum for your office specifically? Is it because of this request?
And we do this from time to time as the chief law enforcement of the state of Michigan. We work with prosecutor's office across our state. One's from populated counties and one's from smaller counties. And from time to time, we work with prosecutors all the time. And from time to time, we work side by side. And that's what we're doing in this instance. This is a significant case, and we are delighted to work in partnership with Mason County authorities. I think we are, and the fact is that we are convinced with the new evidence that has come to light, that's been discovered, that indeed we will prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Sean Phillips took his own daughter's life, and we'll get a conviction.
As far as new charges, is the homicide charge the only one?
There is one count of open murder against Sean Phillips for the death of his daughter.
You don't expect more?
We've charged one count, and we're going to proceed accordingly and thoroughly, aggressively, and with justice always the focus.
You need your appeal defended before you...
You just heard Leon Hendricks there asking questions live inside this Ludington press conference. That's the Michigan Attorney General speaking right now. You just heard, as we told you at the top of the hour, one count of open murder against Sean Phillips. He's the father of baby Kate. Baby Kate disappeared back in June 2011. To give you some perspective, this has been going on for more than 2 years. You heard the Attorney General say this has been an exhaustive investigation. Mason County prosecutor said he reached out to the Attorney General about a year ago to bring these murder charges about. Now, I want to remind you that Sean Phillips is currently serving prison time for kidnapping his daughter. His daughter's remains have yet to be found. We're hearing about new evidence that will be presented at trial. But again, at this time, they're not talking about this new evidence. You heard Leon talk at the top of the hour about that letter that we obtained from family members. We shared that with you first on 24-Hour News 8. That may be a piece of evidence in this trial. We'll have to wait and see. Now, that letter was presumably a letter written by Sean to the baby's mother, Ariel, talking about the death of the baby, saying he was responsible. Again, still waiting to see how this all plays out in trial. But right now, here at noon, we can tell you Father Sean Phillips, father of baby Kate, will face one count of open murder. You just heard from the Michigan Attorney General. Now, Leon Hendricks is there in Ludington. This story we're going to be following throughout the day. He's been there every step of the way. Again, huge developments in this case, more than 2 years old. Again, stay with us at woodtv.com and throughout the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.